A change is as good as a rest. Well, many of us have heard this before, and we know that it's true. And I'm sure that it's happened to you. It's certainly happened to me, not just on one occasion, multiple occasions. You're in a place where you're not unhappy, you're not depressed, but something is not quite working. And you don't know what it is. And the more you try and figure it out, the more you start to feel quite anxious, quite overwhelmed with things. And then of course it starts to spill into everything else that's going on around you, your family, your friends, your work. And yet all this time you're still thinking, what is it that's not working? Why do I feel like this? And at this time it's really important to be aware of what's happening, because left unattended, if you're not aware, it seems to get worse before it gets better. You know, you find yourself in positions, in places, doing things that you didn't want to do or you're not happy with. Everything just seems to have this downward spiral. And it's quite hard once you get right down there to come back out of it. So being able to be aware of it from quite early on is key to getting things moving and finding out what it is and why you're in this place. So for me, I just felt that I needed a change of scenery. I needed to hear myself think. I needed to be around people that I didn't know, or I needed to be around nobody. I needed silence. I needed quiet. I needed a different kind of silence and quiet than the one that I was getting. And I needed to get rid of this brain fog that I've had, this feeling that my head has turned to mush. I can't think about things properly. I can't concentrate properly. All of these things were coming from somewhere that I don't know where. And I realised that sometimes we need to reset, we need to recharge. You know what it's like when you've got maybe your laptop or you've got a device and suddenly it stops working properly, and the first thing people will say is, oh, have you rebooted it? Have you reset it? You know, turn it off and turn it back on again. It's that kind of thing. And I was just aware that this is what I needed. I needed to reboot. I needed to reset. And I needed to do this by going off somewhere else and doing things differently. You know, if you want different results, you need to do things differently. And I was just aware of this. So I booked a return ticket, train ticket, to take me off to the coast, somewhere that I could, first of all, the journey on the train was it was a treat, because I don't use the train. Certainly the last time I was on a train was some years ago. So just being on the train and having a few people walking past on the aisle and looking out and looking at the scenery, just hearing the train on the tracks, it put me in a different place. And then getting to my destination, waiting for the bus. Again, not something that I do, waiting for the bus, but just wanting to be around different people in a different area and see different things. That was another thing that really kind of was refreshing. And then getting to the hotel and the room that I booked, I specifically booked it because it's a room that I could sit down and it directly overlooks the beach and the sea. And I really felt that I needed that. I needed to open the windows and not have tall buildings blocking my view or obstructing or affecting my view in any way, shape or form. And being able to bring my laptop and carry on working and doing what I'm doing. And there's three things that I have learnt that I believe are really important for us all to remember, to nurture. One of them is opportunity. We need to nurture our opportunities. And opportunities don't come when you're just sat in one place waiting for something to happen. So it's really important to be able to move out, speak with people, connect with different environments, areas, things that are going on. Those are the things that offer you opportunities. The second thing is freedom. When you have this, no matter what is going on in the world around us, you feel that you can still move around and do things. So although I'm still in the same country that I haven't got on a plane and gone off somewhere because of what's going on with all the restrictions. I still feel that I have a huge amount of freedom. And then the third thing that I think is really important to remember is choice. We all have choices. Some of us don't feel that we do because maybe where we live or our environment or what's happening to us. But there is always choice. We just need to be able to find that choice or choices. Because, you know, you might have somebody who has, to somebody else has lots of choices, but they will feel that they don't. And you'll have somebody who has maybe to somebody else one or two, but to them, they have so much. It's mindset, it's attitude, it's what you tell yourself. So we all have choices, and it's when we're finding them, when we're using them, magic happens. So right now, I feel like I've got a renewed sort of feeling of, I know what I'm doing now. You know, I don't feel so stuck. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you remember that a change is as good as a rest. Find that change wherever you can, because once you do, it will lead you on to your next step, your next stage. And just be aware as well, when you're in that place where you feel a bit stuck, that maybe just a small change is all you need. So I've just got back into London, still at the station. I will be getting ready to get a taxi for the rest of the journey. And I thought that I would come and say how amazing my journey's been. I've had a thoroughly brilliant time just doing what I needed to do, which in some cases was not very much, or in other cases it was just moving around, talking to the people I wanted to talk to, doing some work on my laptop, just really pleasing myself and not having to think about anything else. It's been amazing, the energy that I've had, and it's reminded me, and I decided based on this, my big takeaway is that I will be doing this again, at least every 4 to 6 weeks, just whether I go back to the same place or whether I find a new place to go to. Whatever I do, it's going to be something that is different from what I normally do, just to recharge and reboot me. So I hope you've enjoyed following me on my journey, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye bye.